everybody, and thanks for tuning into the AFV Factory. It's always appreciated. So, with the Leopard build making good progress, I needed something to take to the model club that I go to every Thursday, or most Thursdays. And as this was going to be my next build, I thought I would start it sort of ahead of schedule and just work on it at the club until the Leopard is finished. So this is another amusing hobby kit, the Centurion Action X, which I have done a review on, both a written one on Facebook, and there's a video review if you were interested on this channel. So what this kit is, briefly, is a Centurion main battle tank chassis with a mantleless turret. So very much in the same vein as the Chieftain, which came along obviously after the Centurion. This has no mantlet. And a little bit of history quickly. This came about as they were building the Chieftains and developing it. They realised that it was going to be a very expensive tank, and they were concerned about how that might affect overseas sales. So they knew a lot of people operated Centurions and were, very, very pleased, liked the Centurions a lot. So they decided to develop, alongside the Chieftain, this mantleless turret that they could then offer to countries with Centurions as an upgrade option. And they could then offer this with the 20-pounder gun or with the new L7 105mm gun. This never really materialised. They built 3 turrets. They put 2 of them onto Centurion chassis for trials, and they sent the other turret down for gunnery trials. I don't honestly know why nothing came of it. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that people wanted the Chieftain. If they were, as opposed to buying this turret, they would want a whole new tank, and so they went for the Chieftain option. But I don't know if that's true. But as I say, nothing ever came of this. So this is another offering by Amusing Hobby. They do quite a little range of Centurions. So essentially, what you get is a Centurion kit with the original turret, with the mantlet, sorry, and then you get a whole new turret. And yeah, I've obviously, as you can see, this is all I've done. I did this in a couple of hours at club tonight, and it's gone together well. It's got some nice, if we can get some focus here. Is it going to focus? It's got some nice, very fine detail on there with texture wise. I do hope that's showing up. It's quite fine, but it is there. And yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of Amusing Hobby. I know I build a lot of their kits, and I know they send kits to me to review. I'm not saying that just because of I feel that I have to, because I'm receiving kits. Their kits are improving. They're going together nicely. This has gone together again. They've gone down the route of not overcomplicating builds with a lot of multi-part sub-assemblies. I mean, there's 3 bits that went in there, that's where the obviously where the barrel mates in there with the turret. So those 3 bits in, and then the turret closes up. There's 0 interior at all. Whether that's something they will do, obviously they do a lot of interior kits, but not on the Centurions as yet. And then just a few bits starting to go on the outside. The lifting eyes, the doors there, these, which I don't actually know what that is, and it appears on British tanks. I've seen it on other ones, so I should have to educate myself into what that is. A couple of things that I've discovered that will help you if you're going to be doing this kit. Firstly, it doesn't show, but doesn't show it in the drawings. But you need to make sure that you've got that locator there that the barrel engages with the right way up. There's a tiny flat section, and you need to have that at the top so that the barrel slides in the right way round, and then the fume extractor goes the right way round if you're using the L7 gun. So that's something to watch out for. The other thing is it shows in the well, I'll show you in the diagram in here, and I'll also tell you why I didn't start on the chassis first. I'll get back to that once I find the turret. So yeah, so as you can see, this piece here is where the barrel attaches to, and it doesn't show you until over here which way it needs to be oriented. So if you've glued that in upside down and then sealed the two halves of the turret, you're going to have some issues once you get to here. So luckily I managed to get that the right way round just by chance. And the other thing is, it shows here quite clearly there's a port there for either ejecting old empty shells or reloading, or both. The first ring, that part there, P25, is from the sprue that has this turret on there. The second part, which is the flap that opens up, F14, is from the existing turret sprue, and it shows there that there's a, you would expect that to indicate that there was a obvious circle on the turret as to where that locates, and there isn't. So I don't know whether that means that it didn't have an ejection, this port here for loading or emptying, that it did, but it wasn't here, it was somewhere else. I'm going to have a look, but there's not a lot of photographs of this turret. As I said, they only made 3, and the ones that you can see, it doesn't clearly show where that is. So that's going to need a little bit of investigation, hence why I haven't added it to the turret as yet. But yeah, it's all straightforward. It goes together nicely. A little bit of sanding was required here and there, but not very much. The two halves of the turret came together nicely. So yeah, it's what I've come to expect, and it's pleasing to see. So why I started on the turret and not right at the beginning is the kit. This review kit didn't have the springs in it for the suspension, so I've been holding off building this. This is why I did the Leopard first and not this one first, because I need the springs for the suspension, which they're sending them to me. So they're somewhere between China and Devon, and once they arrive, I can carry on with starting from scratch, in the right place, or not necessarily the right place, but the beginning of the instruction booklet. But if you look at the instructions here, there's not a great deal to be done to finish the turret. So I shall probably, my current plan is to carry on with the turret as I've started, get it finished, and then by then I should have the springs, and then I can switch back onto the chassis and start off with the suspension. So yeah, so there it is. This is part 1 of this build. It will go slower than that Leopard build. There are more bits to it, but it won't be a massively long build either, because again, even this kit doesn't have a huge amount of bits and be done. The tracks are already cut away from the sprues. They come in a bag, already cleaned up, supposedly just clicked together. So the fact that you don't have to cut away 102 links per side and clean them all up saves hours, as you will well know. And yeah, so the pages look quite detailed. There's a lot going on there, but it's all manageable. There's not, as I said, there's no big sub-assemblies. So parts go together, and you go through pages relatively quickly. So yeah, so I'll leave that there for now. That's a good beginning to, or good first video for the beginning of this build. And hopefully you'll enjoy it and you'll come back and watch me continue with putting this together. Well, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch up with you later.